you think we could share something? All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind Group page. And today's live, we're going to talk about what business you're really in. Hi, my name is Philip Webb from PDQ Merchant Enterprises. Been in ATM business for about 25 years, pretty much from the beginning. We sell ATMs, we sell parts, we provide processing, we offer repairs. So anything from basically A to Z, how to do anything in ATM business, we have done and we continue to do. And what we did, we started about 5 years ago. We offered a course for people who wanted to start an ATM business because I was doing it for about 15 years, teaching people, other companies, how to get into ATM business and being successful at it. Challenges, it took a lot of time. Didn't have the time to teach every individual how to do this business. We developed a course, try to shorten that gap and try to give somebody the opportunity or hit the ground running to do the ATM business, to empower them to start their own ATM business. I haven't found a better business for the return on investment than an ATM business. If I had, I would be in it, but I don't have that business yet. So I continue to search for other businesses to give the same rate of return as the ATM business, but I haven't been successful in doing it. So we keep on doing the ATM business. Every so often, pretty much all the time, people say, well, Phil, how long is the ATM business going to be around? I'm looking at it. It looks interesting, but cash is going away. And I don't want to start a business just like you're in, only to have the business go away. I acknowledge, yes, I would say, you know what? The ATM business is a cash only business and there are challenges with cash. However, I still can't find a business better than the business that we're in. So we continue to do the business and we just get better at it to make better margins. So with that being said, here's what we do is we go live every other Monday. We're taking about a month break after this, but we go live. So I have a topic I talk about, and after the topic's done or during the time, if you got a question, raise your hand or post it in the chat. Say, hey, I got a question. I'm in the ATM business. I'm thinking about getting an ATM business. I have some questions, and we try to answer those questions. If you are seeing it, if you're seeing this after the live and you still have some questions or you want to catch it on the YouTube channel, all you have to do is post a question in there and I answer the questions. And if you need my email, if you want to talk to me on a private level or different level about something else, then you're always welcome to do that. So, all right. So, I don't know if I can share, but and I guess I can't. But here is the situation: is I was watching Founders the other day, and it got me thinking. So in the scene, Founders, if you're not familiar with Founders, Founders is a story about Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc was basically instrumental in taking McDonald's Corporation from one location, and then the McDonald's brothers I think they had up to 7 locations before they got rid of their franchise, or got rid of the name. Ray Kroc ended up buying it at the end of the day, but he was trying to develop, and he loved the product. He loved the way the McDonald's brothers basically revolutionized the hamburger business. They got it from basically purchasing the hamburgers to getting your product within probably 3 or 4 minutes, and they were on their merry way. And he fell in love with that whole process, and then said, let's try to franchise this. And he went out and he started to franchise it. But McDonald's brothers basically wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do to make the product better and sell more franchises. So he met with a guy, and the guy talked to him and said, you don't realize what business you're in. You're not in the hamburger business. You're in a real estate business. And so with that being said, what McDonald's did is they found the spot to put before. What would happen is the franchisee would buy into the franchise, find the real estate, and then the McDonald's Corporation would give them every tool there is, from soup to nuts, of how to build the franchise, where what to put in the store, how to make the hamburgers, how to sell everything, advertising, and everything from the beginning to the end. But Ray wasn't making any money. He was going further and further into debt every store that he opened, until he decided, or somebody actually told him, you're not in a hamburger business, you're in a real estate business. And then what he did is they developed where to put the franchise, buy the land, and then they own the land, and then they would rent it back to the leasee, and the leasee would give him a percentage of the revenue. And then he started to make money because now he had real estate. So he became a real estate tycoon, so to speak. If you've never seen the movie, I highly encourage you to watch it. It's a phenomenal movie. I wish we would get endorsements for doing this, but nobody's giving me any money for this. But there's that scene of what he's talking about. And it got me to thinking, I've been in the ATM business for a long time. One of the challenges, or one of the questions we always get from people, is they're saying, hey, how do I scale this business? What do I do to scale? I like the business. I was thinking about it getting into, but how do I scale it from 1 to 2 ATMs, or 2 to 5, or 5 to 10? How do I do that? What do I do? And sometimes some people are very successful. Other times people are not. And what's the underlying factor? Why? The question I got is, why are some people successful? I mean, we have students all the time, give them the same information. We tell them the same things. We give them the playbook, and some are very successful and others are not. So what's the underlying, what's the factors that make somebody successful? And there are a whole bunch. Sometimes it's challenges with cash constraints. Sometimes it's challenges with availability to put time in effort. Somebody says, oh, you know what? I like it because it's a new shiny coin. I'm chasing that new shiny coin, and they go from this shiny coin to that shiny coin to the next one, and they're not successful. All right. But again, I've been in this space. What makes somebody successful? And at the end of the day, what I have become to learn is the business we're really in is not the ATM business. The business we're in is sales and marketing. That is the overall business that we're in. How do we get new locations? At the end of the day, this business is all about getting more locations, getting new locations, getting different locations, getting more locations, and then having a choice because not every location is going to be a home run. And then how do I get different locations? So that's the business we're really in, is sales and marketing. Now I get calls from people who say, you know what, Bill, I'm more of an introvert. I'm not really a salesperson. Can I do this business? Absolutely. You still need somebody to sell and market your business. What does that look like? And how do I do that? That would be a question. And then we have taught people how to do that. Personally, I have done that over and over and over again through relationships of this. But if you're thinking about being in the ATM business, if you're in the ATM business, you want to grow your ATM business, You have to have a sales and marketing channel, or you will not be successful in this business. There are other factors to this business that will make you that even if you got a sales and marketing spirit and you're a beast in that area, you still have to have a couple other areas in this business. But for the most part, that is the number one overall factor to be great in this business. Now, we have set people up. We have helped them find their first location. We have helped them find some of their second and third, fourth locations. We can do that. We have a sales team that does that for these 4 people, but it costs money to do that. And so how do we minimize that? When I looked at, we grew our business, and for us, we have 5 streams. We have the selling of the ATM. We have the ATM, what we call the vault cash route. So we put ATMs on the street, and we have our own route. We offer processing. We offer ATM service. So we make money in all those areas, but I didn't make money in all those areas in the beginning. I wasn't successful. We had challenges. And what did I do to overcome those challenges? I got my brains beat in time and time and time again. We failed at whatever we tried. And it was only through perseverance and say, okay, how did I get to the next, how do I get to the next level? So I'll give you an example. And I did this actually today. I called some fellow ATM people, and I said, look, what's the challenge in your business? Where in the ATM, I asked them this question: what is the hardest part of the ATM business for you? And I got different answers. Okay. One of the answers I got was site location agreements, contracts. Bill, that is my toughest area of the business. I go in, I talk to location, I could sell them, but I don't know how to get that location agreement signed. I'm not a master at that. And I agree. That was something that I struggled with for a long time because I didn't have that skill set. So what did I do? I learned that skill set, and I learned how to sell into that skill set. I learned how to position myself in that skill set. I learned to deal with customers who didn't want to do that. And then I figured out ways around that. So that was an area for me that was a challenge, just like maybe somebody else. But I learned how to get around that. And now I asked person in our office, I said, look, what's our rate of close right now? And she says, we're about 97%. So we got 97% of all the deals we do, we're signing a location agreement contract. Okay. Well, back in the day, guess what? My percentage was 0 because I asked for it 0 times. I was just happy to get the location. I just was happy to place my ATM. And that's what we did. So I went from 0 to 97%. Why did I do that? I did that for one reason, is because I couldn't scale the business. That was the number one reason, because I put my ATMs, I could only grow it as long as I was the face of the business. Once I wasn't the face, then I couldn't grow it anymore. So, because as soon as I grew 1, I lost 2. I grow 2, I lose 4, because I couldn't pay attention to the locations enough. And so I had to hire somebody to go in there and fill the ATMs. And then once I wasn't in there, you know what? Anytime there was somebody else in there, they could say, you know what, Phil, we're going somebody else. And I lose a location. So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I can sell, but I can't maintain the business. So that came into the product. Was the product maybe not good enough? Well, it was because we didn't have a location agreement to stay in the location. Now, was my guy good? Yeah, but maybe somebody was a better salesman than my guy, because his job wasn't to sell. His job was just to maintain the ATM, make sure it's full of cash, make sure the product works. We did that, but if somebody was a better salesman then we lose the deal. They offered maybe a little bit more money, and the store owner needed money, and guess what? We lost the deal. But then we put location agreements in there, and now what happened is the guy says, "Oh, hey, can you come up and get your ATM next Thursday?" And I said, "Oh." And they would call the office, or my guy would say, "Hey, he told us to come get the ATM." Now I go down there and I said, "Look, what's the issue?" "Oh, what do you mean? What's the issue? I just want to take the ATM out." And like, "Well, is there a problem? Are you getting your commission?" And they would say, yeah, we're getting our commission. Oh, are you not getting your statement every month? Well, yeah, we get our statement. I'm like, well, I'm looking at the call logs. You haven't called for service. No, I don't have any problem with service. I said, so you're getting your money? Yeah. You don't have any, you're getting your statement? Yeah. You don't have any problem with service because the ATM's up and running. Is the ATM running out of money? I look, that's not happening. So what's the issue? Oh, well, I don't really have any issue with your company and your guy is good. And I said, well, why are you asking us to leave? Oh, because I got offered, you're getting X and I got X plus one. Okay. So you don't have any issues with us? No, but I'm getting more money if I go with somebody else. I said, oh, okay. All right. When we started this deal 2 years ago, he says, yeah, you've been great, but I got an opportunity to do better. Okay. Well, we shook hands. Yeah, that's fine. I said, and you signed a location agreement honoring what our handshake agreement was. Oh, I did? Yeah, here it is. Oh, okay. And then I'm like, well, who's the other company? And then they tell me. And then we send them a nice letter that says, basically, we have a location agreement. You're doing, I think it's pronounced tortious interference. So we let them know that we have a contract in place. We're going to sue them if they continue their process and to back away because this location is ours. And so once we do that, and you have to have, excuse my French, you have the stones enough to say it, to do that and follow it out and stand up for what you worked for, then those problems go away. But why did I do that? Because I got beat over and over and over again. I lost locations, not because we were doing anything wrong, just because somebody better dealed me. So I hated losing. I got tired of it because I couldn't build. So what do? We learn to protect what we're doing. So we learn how to do sales better. We learn how to do marketing better. And we learn how to protect the business that we already had. And we did that. Now, here's what happens. We had an opportunity for a dispensary. And I told the story before. I'm going to say it again because it fits right in here. Is we had an opportunity to get a dispensary, which, as anybody knows, is probably one of the best locations. This guy, franchisee, this was his 5th dispensary. A friend of mine who has his other dispensaries recommended him to us. They're in our area. They were in other states. Now they came to this state and said, here you go. I said, okay, call the guy. He told me what he wanted. I told him what I wanted. We went back and forth. I agreed on all his terms, but he didn't want to sign a location agreement or a site SLA. We call it site location agreement with what he considered a breakup clause. A breakup clause for him meant that if he told me to leave, I would charge him for the remainder amount of the contract. In other words, I'm making, let's say it's a 3-hour surcharge. I'm making $2. We're there a year and he tells me to pound sand. I got 4 years left. He's got to pay me the 4 years left on the deal. He didn't want that in there. He wanted that out of there. Well, why wouldn't he? Because he just wants what he wants and there's no rhyme or reason for me. And sorry, I said, no, we're not going to do that. This is what we're going to do. And he said, no, I'm going to go with somebody else. Okay, great. Then go. Can you walk away from that deal? Could you say, yeah, for me, it was a no-brainer because at the end of the day, I'm only as good as my last transaction. And that's it. Doesn't matter the time we got invested. Doesn't matter how we treated the guy. Some will argue, well, if you treat him good, he'll stay. Nope, that's not true. He doesn't care about you. If he did, he would sign the SLA. Because he doesn't care. You're as good as toilet paper to him. He doesn't care. And if the roll runs out, he'll find somebody else to do the same deal because he doesn't value you. And he's never going to value you because that's just the way it is. So you got to know that going in. If you're okay with not having any value, if you're okay with not doing that, you just want to work off cash flow, then you do that deal. But I wasn't because I've been in that situation. And it doesn't matter how good a job we did. We're only as good as the last transaction. And after that transaction, we're not any good. And that's the way they view it. So I don't put myself in that position anymore. I would rather put my energy into a deal that we're going to be around for 8-10 years. That way I can stay in that deal. We can build on that performance. So you got to know what the deal is that you're in, or the business that you're in. You're in the sales and marketing business, and you're in a little bit of a customer service business to maintain the business that you got. Once you're in there, the nice thing about the ATM business, there isn't a lot of competition, but there is some. And especially if you're in a truck stop, a strip club, a dispensary, there's going to be some competition because those are high volume locations and you're going to have to defend those. And if you don't have defensible positions, you're going to lose those. And so what good is that if you don't stand up? So know what business you're in, learn how to do the business. And the business, again, is sales and marketing. That's the number one thing in this business you need to learn, and how to talk to those customers. And if you don't, then you better know how to create relationships for people who do know how to talk to those customers and incentivize that person to talk to your customers if you want to be successful. Now, anybody can come in this business. And it happens all the time. What they do is they come in, they get 1 to 3 locations, they build ATMs, they're getting some transaction, they're getting volume, they're making money, and they say, "Oh, I like this business, is great." And then they start to run into some challenges. How do I get new locations? I had my cousin Pete owned a convenience store. I'm doing 200 transactions. Pete doesn't want any commission. Great. Pete's in there, and guess what? Pete sells the store to somebody else, and now I lose that location. So how do I maintain this business? I looked at this. A guy says, "Hey, I want to sell. I got 5 dispensaries. I want to sell them." Great. I'd like to buy them. Let me see the contracts. Oh, I don't have any contracts. Why not? Well, the guy who owns the dispensary is my cousin. He's selling all 5 dispensaries and I want to get paid. I'm like, okay, great. But you're selling me nothing because the new guy comes in, could kick me out. No, they'll stay. Well, will they sign this contract? No, they won't sign any contract. Well, then you got nothing to sell. So I wasn't going to do that deal either. At the end of the day, when you're in this business, if you want to stay just for cash flow, then don't sign any contracts. If you want to stay for longevity, you want to build on top of other business, you want to build on the business and go to the next day, you have to have SLAs, site location agreements, contracts, location agreements, however you want to frame it, you have to have that. And the other thing you have to do is learn how to sell and learn how to market. And if you don't, there's plenty of places on YouTube that'll teach you different. I mean, it's free. Or take a sales and marketing class, or read books on sales and marketing. How do I position myself in a stronger position? But at the end of the day, that will help you grow your business. That will help you scale your business, and have something at the end of the day to sell. If you decide to get out, you want something sellable. If you don't have a site location agreement or a contract, your business is worth about what we call EBITDA number, which is earnings before interest, taxes, appreciation, depreciation. EBITDA number. Or you can expect 6 months of whatever money you're making. If you have a location agreement, you can expect somewhere between 24 and 36 months of revenue. So it's 2x, 3x. So that's what ultimately what you want to do is you want to try to get to the 5x number. That would be something. And how do you do that? You got to have longer agreements. That's how you do it. And that's how you scale the business. The longer an agreement, the more agreements you can get, the more locations you can get, the longer you can stay in the location. That is all helpful in growing your business. So, all right. So that's what I got to talk about. One thing, look, I've been in this business 25 years. I have failed and failed and failed and failed again. But one thing that we do is we look at the failures. I write down what happens. I try to figure out why did I lose on that deal, and then how do I make the next deal better. I've been very blessed by the fact that, you know what, we do have more opportunity, and it does come around again. But how do you get better? You learn from your mistakes. I've been doing it for 25 years, so I got a lot of mistakes, and I know a lot of ways not to lose. And so that's why we have a course. And if you want to learn from us, then you know what, we have the course. You can get in our community. You can be part of the community, and you have access to me to say, "Hey, Phil, how does this situation stack up? What do I do to avoid the landmines?" I can teach you how to avoid the landmines, shorten your learning scale, increase your revenue, and make your business better. But You have to join our community. So, or just look at the YouTube channel. I give a lot of good clues on how to do things, what to do, how to avoid tragedy, and build your business from there. If you want to get in the game, we sell ATMs, we sell processing, we sell a course, and we can help grow your portfolio and get you to the next level. So I put in the chat where to start, and I gave our website. If you want to grow your business or you want to start an ATM business, we're here to help and make yourself very profitable and get that extra set of revenue for you and your family. So we're going to start up again in January. But this is the last live. Again, if you're watching it on a replay, just post a question in the chat. I'm looking to see if there's any more questions or anybody has any questions. I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions. All right. So I want to thank you guys very much for joining tonight. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a good Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there. New Year's, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and if there's any other holidays that I missed. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the channels. Please like and subscribe us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever we're at. And I look forward to seeing you guys next year. I'm going to have some more content to help you guys grow your business and to talk about not only the ATM business, but how in the ATM business, what are the challenges? What do I look for? How do I find locations? Everything and anything to do with the ATM business. So as a friend of mine would say, that's it. That's all, says the clock on the wall. Thank you guys very much. Have an amazing night, and I will see you guys in January. So thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.